July is a great opportunity to do that, to honor those individuals and to celebrate them and their sacrifice.
Yep.
And I have to admit, you know, the United States of America is not a perfect country, and I thank God that I live here.
Me too.
I love it.
Me too. Yeah, absolutely. It's not perfect. No country is.
Yeah.
But I'm grateful to be here.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Snyder,
Yeah.
what's new and exciting?
Ooh. Well, boy, there's a lot. We've got the Leaders Retreat that's coming up here in August.
Booyah.
And a boat ride.
Well, so the Leaders Retreat, we've had a little bit of an update. And this is coming to you first. All of our tens of listeners. Nah, I shouldn't make that joke anymore. You know, Alvin Lamb came at me and he's like, Jay, you don't understand. There's a lot more people that listen to you. And I was like, okay, I'm sorry. Alvin, I apologize.
Well, it's live listeners.
Yeah.
It's
so for all of the people that hear this, you're the first ones to hear it. As of today, today's July 13th, 2022. We are trying to work out a special deal with the sister hotel of the resort that we're going to.
Yeah.
Down in Costa Rica.
Yep.
And if we're able to do that, then what will happen is another set of rooms will become available. They're going to cost a little bit more because the sister hotel costs more. But if we do it right, the individuals that are in those rooms will be able to take part in the events at the main resort with us.
Okay.
We're gonna see what we can do to get a special wristband or whatever it is to make sure that they can go from one to the other and come into our events.
Yeah.
And so if you are looking to come to the Leaders Retreat and were one of the many who did not book early, then here's what I'd like you to do. You know what? I totally forgot to get her information. So I guess email customer service at myrenatus.com. Okay? Send us an email, give us a call, send us a message over chat that you want to be included on the wait list. And what we'll do is we'll send that all over to Carol Allegre. She's coordinating all of our travel.
Yep.
And then what we'll do is we'll just turn that list over to her, and she'll be able to get as many people on as she can.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and hopefully we can make that work. I hope that this works out.
Me too.
How close is the sister property? Do we know?
You know, Bob said today that it's less than half a mile away.
Oh.
So it is a long walk.
Sure, it's a but it's a ways, short. But it's not like it's 10 minutes by cab or
no. Yeah, no.
So
they share the same property from what I understand, but they're kind of face different directions. And,
okay.
Yeah.
All
and
right.
so
Cool.
it takes a little bit to get from one to the other, but we're doing what we can for those people because we've had so many requests come in saying, "Hey, I didn't get in on the original room block." You know, we clipped our block so early. It is so important that everybody just get in when they can, as soon as they can.
Eager to go to Costa Rica. Who would thunk that?
So then you mentioned the boat tour.
Yes. Yeah, we're going on a boat tour.
Oh, you know what? This is another exclusive. People should really listen to this podcast. I feel like every single week we are giving exclusive content first.
Yeah, like stuff that hasn't been announced anywhere else. Yeah.
So here's another one. If you are registered for the Leaders Retreat, but have not yet booked the big group excursion, you need to do that right now. We only have
now
5 spots left.
Yeah.
And I think we had let me do math real quick. We had like 13 or 14 spots get taken yesterday.
Yeah.
We only have 5 left on the boat, and then we're at capacity. So if you haven't done it yet, I'm whispering so that no one else can hear us, just me and you.
We don't want anyone else to hear. Well, that was 5 this morning. So
that was 5 first thing this morning.
Yeah.
I hope that they're still available.
Yeah.
So if you're registered for the Leaders Retreat and have not yet booked the big group excursion, which is going to be, it's a pontoon sailboat that we're going to sail around the coast of Costa Rica into like a couple of different private coves where we're going to snorkel. We're going to, be able to wade out to the beach. We're going to, it's going to be
awesome.
awesome.
That sounds truly incredible. I'm looking forward to it.
That's one of those picturesque moments where you get that turquoise blue water.
Yep.
You see the
Caribbean
sea
water.
rays going by or other fish.
Yeah.
Oh, just awesome.
It's like what we did that, but not with Renatus.
Yeah.
We did it in Cozumel, and that was really cool. So stingrays just swimming around right by you. It was crazy. You could see them because it's crystal clear water.
So Emmylou just said, I want to go. Emmylou, come with us. Yeah. Come with us. Yeah. Get your name on the list right now if you're interested in getting a room.
That's right.
And then send us a message or get registered for the boat excursion right now. Yeah. So that you can actually be one of the last 5 spots on the boat. So.
Yep. Yeah. What do you got here? I mean, the mountain's going to be on fire anyways at Fire Mountain, and that's all you're going to miss. So, yeah.
You're just going to miss Fire Mountain.
Let's go.
The gates of the eternal deep are going to be opening up at night.
Pretty much. That's what happens around here.
All right. I'm going off on a tangent here. So we've got the Leaders Retreat coming up. That's the 19th through the 23rd of August.
Yep.
And, one note to give everybody, and I always forget, it's, what is it? It's Liberia.
Oh.
The airport.
Conchal,
something like that. So when you look at Costa Rican airports, make sure that you look for the airport that is called Liberia Conchal Reserve. No, not Reserve. Now I'm getting the hotel mixed up with I can't remember. But make sure that that's the airport you pick.
Fly into the airport that's closest to the hotel.
Yes, because the other one is like 4 or 5 hours away. Bus ride.
Yeah, you get there, you're gonna be pissed. So it's a trip.
All right. So that's really it with the Leaders Retreat. Oh, yeah, one more thing.
Yeah,
one more thing. But wait, there's more. Make sure if you're already reserved to go to the Leaders Retreat, go to the back office calendar right now and pick your spot to do the small group training with our PAC members. I think we limited it to 15 people per session per PAC. So if you're going to be there, get that reserved right now so that you can get one-on-one time or one-on-few time with a PAC member.
But worth it.
There are 2 sessions. So we're going to be doing this on Saturday. I believe that's the 20th, if I'm doing my math right. But we're going to do 1 session in the morning. So we're going to have all the PAC members go to different restaurants in the hotel. And then they're going to have like a breakfast type training. And then we're going to do 1 in the afternoon. So there will be 2 opportunities for you to sit with 2 different PAC members. If you choose, you can sit with, the Ullmans in the morning and then the Rose in the afternoon or the Stocks or whomever. Anyway, so make sure that you go to the calendar and get those reserved as well.
Yeah. Yeah, we've done this in the past, and it was a huge hit. It was really valuable.
And one more time, I got to give credit to Steve Nomura. This was his brainchild a few years ago when we first started it, and it was just idea. It was such a fantastic idea because it gets you that personal time with a leader of your choice to learn, to ask questions, to develop and grow. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, and I think the value comes from. You might have your regular PAC member or a couple of PAC members that you work with, talk to, interface with on a regular basis. This gets you that ability to do it with others that you normally wouldn't or have never had the opportunity. And, there's something to be learned from each market leader, from how they do things. And so I think it's incredibly valuable.
Yeah, I agree. It's going to be awesome. You know what I didn't do?
What?
I don't think I created one for Bob Snyder yet.
Oh, you better do that.
I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
I better do that. All right.
Hey, guys, any preview on what's going on Saturday? Like what kind of training or anything?
Okay.
I'd love to.
So first of all, voice from the eternal darkness.
Where did that come from?
That everybody else can see on the stream.
I love it.
No, yeah. So Bob Snyder has an all-new training that he's put together that talks about the principles and elements of effective not just leadership but also sales.
Yeah.
So Bob has been in sales for 35 plus years. I'm trying to do the math in my head.
It's something like that. I think it might be more, but
yeah. And he's been the top income earner in several companies or he's owned several companies that have done really, really well. And so he's going to bring all of his knowledge, all of his expertise and experience to really help give every single one of us the base principles that are needed to continue building a foundation of sales, team leading, and inspiration. And he's got this training that he does that he calls the Taproot Training, and I'm going to see if he'll employ that as well, because he talks about how to build an effective taproot through your organization to create an ongoing stream of sales and leads. And yeah, it's a cool training. And so I'm going to try to talk him into bringing that one as well. But it's also a time to really be able to ask any questions that you want of Bob, of the pack, of any of the other leaders that are there.
Yeah.
It's going to be, oh man, it's going to be so much fun.
I said it before. I feel like a broken record, but there's always new people that haven't seen previous episodes or anything like that. But, you know, being able to hang out with all of the people that are going to be at the Leaders Retreat, basically, if you're serious about your business, you need to be there, because the kind of people that you get to hang out with are all people who are doing what you want to do. So you should be there and learn from them. Yeah.
And I know one of the things that he shared with me, that Bob Snyder shared with me regarding his training, was the urgency of it.
Yeah.
Was how to create and maintain urgency in your business. And one of the things that he shared with me lately, and I guarantee this will be part of his training, is about burnout. A lot of people talk about burnout, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm tired, I'm this, I'm that, I'm burnt out.
Yep.
Burnout is a mindset.
Of course.
It's not a state of being, it's a mindset. So
Yeah.
if you can learn to master your mindset, you can learn to continually create joy and happiness and excitement in your own business and in your own life.
Oh, definitely. Let alone the other side of that is, you know, the 40% rule, right? That we've heard David Goggins talk about and stuff. But, you know, you can push. Basically, when you think you can go no farther, he's saying, you know, you've only done 40% of what you're capable of doing, and you can keep going. You know, we've all seen that, or I would hope that we've all seen that video played at Nationals. My dad played it in his presentation of the football coach that has the, you know, the guy blindfolded. And
the one guy who's got the other guy on his back.
He's got the other guy on his back, and he's like, I can maybe make it to the 40. And he's like, I want to see you get to the 50 or whatever. And then he ends up doing the whole field, and it's because he was blindfolded and he didn't know how far he had been. And so he tricked his mind, basically. Anyways, but yeah, burnout is a mindset. And so, you know, come learn. Learn from people that they're farther down the road than you are. Have
learned to master their mindset to create the ongoing excitement in their business, even when they're performing the same task over and over.
Yep. Well, then that's a James Lawrence quote as well, right? So.
Oh my goodness, we got to move on. We got to move on. We've talked about the Leaders Retreat for a little while.
Yes, we have.
I can't wait to see everybody who's signed up and who's going to be with us down in Costa Rica.
Yes,
it's going to be awesome.
Me too.
All right, so the next thing that I wanted to bring up really quick is that next Monday on the 18th of July, we have Mr. Cosimo Intermite coming out on the Founders Live. So that's 4 p.m. Mountain Time on this coming Monday. And he's going to be talking a little bit about the tips and tricks that you can employ today to increase your effective memory retention. And he's got several tools that he's going to share on the Founders Live. It's going to be awesome.
That's cool. He's a master at it. So.
Oh my goodness. And talk about ongoing energy. That guy's like the Energizer Bunny.
In
fact, you know what the difference is between Cosmo and the Energizer Bunny?
Huh.
The Energizer Bunny needs to have his batteries replaced. Cosmo just keeps on and keeping on.
That guy does too. He just goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it. He's incredible. So that's this coming Monday. The following Monday on the 25th of July. In Utah, we have an ongoing statewide holiday that we celebrate on the 24th of July.
Yep.
That is being recognized on the 25th this year.
Yeah.
And that is Pioneer Day. So it celebrates the day in 1847 when the Mormon pioneers made it across the plains and came into the Salt Lake Valley.
Yep.
And so we are going to take the day off. We're going to be closing the offices. But the good news is we'll continue to support you guys through email. So if you send in emails to us, we'll respond to them first thing Tuesday morning. And the study groups will be ongoing. as most of our
that's good.
instructors don't necessarily recognize,
They don't live in Utah.
Yeah, they don't live in
so-
Utah, so it's not
yeah.
really a state holiday for them.
Right.
We're going to keep the study groups going. So the
Yeah.
study groups will still be on the 25th.
You know, I was probably like 12 or 13 before I realized that the rest of the country doesn't celebrate with us. You know what I mean? Like, because it's always like, well, you got the 4th of July, we got fireworks, and we got the 24th of July, we got fireworks. There's always, a day off and fun and parades and rodeos and demolition derbies, and there's all sorts of fun stuff. And then, I found out, like, I can't remember who I was talking to. I found somebody who's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
I can't wait for the 24th of July.
What is
this?
the 24th?
Yeah, like,
What is this craziness you speak of?
Yeah.
I did think it was interesting. Apparently, parades are not a huge thing other places in the country.
Wait.
We just had my wife's niece with us for a few days, and we took her to a parade. And she was like, this is weird. And I'm like, weird? What are you talking about?
Yeah. What is she talking about?
Okay, so my kids, being Starks, as we are,
Uh-huh.
We make sure that we enjoy experiences to the fullest.
Sure.
Even funny little parades in small towns in Utah.
Yep.
So we went to this parade, and we were hooting and hollering. We know a lot of the people in the parade, and so my kids are getting showered with candy.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, they're just chucking this candy. And my daughter, my 9-year-old daughter, who in her so I don't want to say infinite wisdom, however, her finite but yet deep wisdom, decided instead of bringing a bag to pick up the candy with, she was going to bring a pillowcase.
That's
so
awesome.
she brought a pillowcase.
I like that. She's thinking ahead.
That dumb thing was probably 20 pounds.
I believe it.
Before she left, she was like, she threw it over her shoulder and did one of those like, whoa.
Oh, I believe it. Yeah. Well, we had like 200 pounds to throw out.
Oh
for
yeah,
the
we
parade.
did. Yeah, we did. Still sitting in the garage. Anyway,
Yeah.
so that was a lot of fun.
We should give a taffy with every medal at the next national. We'd still have 190 pounds of
Yeah,
it,
we
dude.
would. So on the 25th of July, the home office will be closed. However, you can still send us emails, and then we'll be back at it on the 26th.
Cool.
What else did I want to? Oh, one more thing. Last thing before we get to our featured guest for the rest of the podcast.
What do we got?
That is that we have coming upon us very shortly. In fact, I think, if I remember right, September 23rd is the very first regional date.
Oh, yeah.
So we've got regional season up and coming. And Mr. James, will you throw? Oh, there we go. You guys can see the graphic there.
It feels like it's so far away.
It's not that far away. August is only like a week and a half away.
I know.
Yeah.
I know, man.
2 weeks.
Like they're 2 weeks. Yeah,
2
but
weeks.
like what we're talking about at September.
It'll
Gosh,
be on us before we know it.
Yeah, these dates.
So September 23rd and 24th, we are getting started in Denver. Take a look at those dates right now and plan travel accordingly. If you're able to attend a regional, you will not regret it. So we're going to Denver, Washington, D.C., Chicago. Florida is actually going to be in Fort Lauderdale. I confirmed that with Antonio this past week.
Good.
And then we've got Salt Lake City and Phoenix. So that is our regional schedule. At every single regional is an opportunity to learn from national leaders like Bob Snyder, Scott Rowe, and then also all of the local leaders in your individual markets. They'll be there as well, training. And then I love the award ceremony that accompany every single regionals, because it's an opportunity for people to be recognized on their local stage for their many efforts.
Yeah.
So
it is cool because, there's something a little special about it because when you do nationals, sometimes there's a large swath of the crowd that doesn't know who that individual even is,
right,
or what they've accomplished. Right. Whereas with this, it's everybody in that room typically knows that person earned that award, and it's they know that they know the work that went into it, and so it's something that's special. I like regionals. I like those award ceremonies.
It's a lot of fun. In fact, I would say there are 3 events every single year that I just are non-negotiable for me.
Yeah.
The first one is the national conference.
Of course.
The second one is the leaders retreat.
Yep.
The third one is regionals.
Amen.
Those are non-negotiable events.
I agree. Yeah, you're there no matter what.
Yep.
So,
King,
you know.
I think it's that time.
Yes.
That magical, wonderful time.
Yes, it is.
And we have a very, very special guest.
A special guest.
We have been trying to get this guest on the podcast for a long time.
Yeah, well, he's a busy guy.
He's a busy guy.
He's got
Rightfully
stuff.
so.
He's got stuff to do.
He's got stuff. He's got family. He's got all sorts of things going on.
Yeah.
But I am super excited. In fact, I got so excited that last night my wife started listening to a completely different podcast. I know she listened to somebody else's podcast.
Wow.
And I actually heard this guy's voice on the podcast. So he was featured on a different podcast.
What?
And she listened to him last night.
I didn't know that he was going to other podcasts.
He was. He was seeing other podcasts. Well, I tell you what, we have on the line with us an ICM who is truly an example of the Renatus opportunity. He has been just a work in progress, and it has been so phenomenal to see him go from brand new ICM to becoming an income leader and then becoming the top personal sales income leader in the company.
Yep.
And now he is the top income earner, period, in the company for Renatus, and he's on track to crack 7 figures this year.
Unreal.
In marketing.
Yeah.
I am super excited to bring out on our call Mr. Nate Lambert.
Hey.
Yeah, we really need to get an applause track on here.
Yeah, we do. What was
Man.
wrong with the one I did?
It sounded like Maui in that movie.
Oh.
Anyway,
funny.
Mr. Lambert, I am super excited to have you here for so many reasons. I especially love the intentional way that you build your business continually. I just think it's so amazing to see the way that you work. So the first thing that I would really love to ask you and to have you share with our group is what progress took place from the time that you first found Renatus until now. What does your development look like, and how much time has it taken for you to go from brand new ICM to top income earner?
Well, that's a great question. It's been 7 amazing years since I went full time with you guys,
Wow.
and it's been quite a journey. So, I think in the beginning I was just, I got so excited. I think vision is so important, right? Like I caught the vision for the potential with Renatus, and that helped me to just push and get creative. I mean, you can ask the people that started with me. I was bringing like 25 to 30 people to every opportunity presentation. They weren't very well qualified, but it was like I had a whole crew of people coming out because I was just bound and determined to make it work. In fact, kind of a fun story. It's fun that we're going to Costa Rica for this leadership retreat because back then, I had just quit my W-2 job as a professor, and I decided to just do real estate and Renatus full time. And so, which I don't really advise that to people. I'm just saying, tell my story. Okay.
Right.
Anyway, so I was just like, it was 3 months since we got a paycheck, and my wife at the time, Olia, was like, Nate, because I had planned a trip to Costa Rica, actually, to take my family, my wife and kids to Costa Rica. She's like, Nate, we've gone 3 months without a dime. Like, what money are you going to use to take us to Costa Rica? And for me, I'm just like, hey, I believe this. I'm going to make it happen. It's my goal. We're not going, and I got to make at least $10,000 if we're going to go to Costa Rica. And so, I got 5-star qualified. This was actually a big part of my motivation. I got 5-star qualified, and I just had to make this trip work. So I got my first combo sale. I got paid the $10,000 like a week before we were supposed to leave. So I'm like, here we go.
Oh my gosh.
Costa Rica, and it's come full circle 7 years later. We're going back to Costa Rica.
Wow. Yeah, I remember that. I remember talking. I actually remember the first time I met you, Nate, because it was down here at the Utah office. It was just the Thursday night presentation, and we got done, and we were kind of meeting people and just saying hi. I was, and Nate comes up to me and is like, "Hey, I'm Nate," and you told me you were gonna go to Costa Rica, and I was like, and then when you're like, and yeah, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna do all these things. And, I was like, okay, cool. We'll see, you never we'll see what happens. Right. That sounds like, to me, it was just like, it sounds, you're taking your whole family to Costa Rica and then you're going to come back here and you're going to do this. And yeah, and you did it. It was awesome. You did it, man. You did everything you said you'd do. That's
cool.
I
found my why. It's so important to find a really compelling why. And for me, traveling around the world with my family has been my biggest why.
That's awesome.
Wow. So what progress have you seen as far as let me try that one more time. What are the underlying principles that you've really held on to that keep you going? Because I know that you found your why. What are the principles that are revolving around that why that make you who you are today?
That's a great question. I mean, because I know a lot of people think it's all about just finding the right technique, but you're right. It's all about these core principles that drive you. I really believe one of my core principles is that money follows value. And so you've got to learn how to make yourself more valuable to the marketplace. For me, I'm like, if I'm going to do this, I got to figure out how to get some real estate deals done. I got to implement all the cool stuff I'm learning so that I can help people see the vision of what's possible when they implement all these amazing classes. And so, I just started adding value by giving my team a chance to talk every week, providing calls, providing opportunities to just synergize and work together on stuff. So I think, just really looking to genuinely help people, it has been core. And for me, like, I believe in the education so much. I remember actually when my first house, when I got back from Fiji, lived in Fiji for 7 months with my family. And I remember like trying to pitch this to people. And I do remember that feeling that you get when you're a new ICM and you're like, is this really a good program? Is this something that I can get behind? And I remember feeling that way, but as the more I dove into the content and got the value and got results myself, I mean, my belief in Renatus as a product is like so high now that it's just like that's why I never even try to sell people essentials, because I'm like, I believe in this product so much that I like only sell combos, because I feel like they need everything. And this is the only way that I got to where I'm at. So, just that belief in the product. And I think a lot of that comes from just really diving in yourself and using it. And just when you get that high level of belief, people can feel it. People can sense. That's why they buy from me so much, because they're like, this guy like really believes in this product. Like it's.
Yeah. I love how you said that money follows value. So that means that you are valuing yourself as well as producing or creating value in the lives of others. And I know that I've watched, not watched, but with the last time that we had you on the podcast, you told us a little bit about some of the ways that you would pump yourself up, how you would keep yourself feeling motivated, saying, what was it? I am the prize.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
I am the prize.
I am the prize. I love that. I love it. So how do you, walk me through a typical day in your life. How much time do you spend building your business every single day? How much time are you engaged in it? And what does that look like for you?
Well, if I'm being totally honest, it's probably not the best answer you're looking for. But hey, at the beginning, I'll tell you what it looked like at the beginning and what it looks like now, right? To give you a realistic picture.
Yeah.
At the beginning, I mean, I was texting friends, I was reaching out, I was going to networking meetings all the time. I was building my list, I was building my influence, and just inviting like crazy to meetings, right? and going to those meetings and just, I mean, it was just intense, and it was pretty time intensive. I mean, I always tell people you need to carve out at least 10 hours a week to do this business effectively. But, to be honest, like, now I'm just like, I've got such a great following, so many systems in place. I've got virtual assistants. I've got I got a business partner, Edmund Fontana. I mean, literally, like, I'm having a call here in just a minute with a guy that I've never talked to, and he's already told me that he's interested in paying the 23,000. So I'm just gonna like talk to him for 20, 30 minutes, collect his payment, and this will be my first time ever really talking to him one-on-one.
Wow.
So I've just got my systems dialed in such that the beauty of that, I mean, I gotta say the beauty of that is that, with the divorce I've been through this last year, I mean, it just ripped my soul out, and it really hurt. It was hard to really focus on anything but Renatus, and thankfully I didn't even have to put in more than about 5 hours a week, and created, made over 600 grand, so it was like, it's just such a powerful business, but that's not how it starts, right? It starts by just hustling, building those, inviting like crazy, just going to networking, meeting new people. I mean, you gotta hustle, but man, when you get things in place, I mean, I gotta say, this is like the sweetest gig I could ever imagine,
Right on.
Awesome.
How did you start? What started your kernel of belief? You talked about that your belief is so overwhelming that nobody doubts that this is going to work. So what started that in you, or what advice would you give to a new ICM on how they could begin that belief in their own lives?
Yeah, I mean, it's really just about using the product, right? Like, really, and here's, I mean, I would listen. I would take massive action. I'm a guy of massive action. I would listen. I listened to the class on insurance, and then I interviewed 7 life insurance agents. I even got my license, and I got, I just like went all in and got like $10 million in policy. Like, I listened to the class on, retirement accounts, and I like just totally got all these retirement accounts set up and did all these deals in my retirement account. Like, so it's just like, every time I would listen, I wouldn't just like passively listen. I would listen and then act immediately. And then I would post about the actions I was taking, and people were like, holy cow, that's actually how I made one of the biggest collaborations the biggest collaboration that's made my career is because I was taking action on that retirement account class, and someone reached out and said, how are you doing this? And this is amazing. Tell me more. And then we made this, Michael Lush's team, and we made this incredible collaboration that's really given me amazing leads, right? But it was all because I was taking action and making things happen.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of the formula right there, right? Like, watch the class, do the class, talk about your what you've just done, right? So
yeah, always talk about it. Don't be afraid. I always tell people, don't shy away from social media. Tell people what you're learning. Tell people the action you're taking, the results you're getting. They're going to be way more interested if they see that you're an action taker.
Well, and they see it. Yeah, they see you took the action and they see the results. That's a lot more powerful than, hey, you should do this thing because I told you it's awesome. That sends a much different message. Just all you're doing is telling what's going on in your life. That's interesting.
I love that, because you're not trying to pitch anyone. You're just saying, hey guys, this is what I'm doing right now. This is what's going on.
It's not even a pitch. It's just, this is what I'm doing. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. And I love that you're a massive action taker. I think a lot of people get stuck right there. They hear it, they learn about it, and then they analyze it to death.
Yeah. Yep.
And they don't necessarily ever take that first step. And so
analysis paralysis.
Yeah.
Analysis paralysis. It's high in neuroticism, right?
What a?
High in neuroticism. When you look at psychology and psychology tests and stuff. Anyways, The point is Nate is low in neuroticism.
All right.
He just does. He takes action. He doesn't think about it too much. Doesn't get too wrapped up in, all that stuff, and just do.
And I love how you would I learned about this insurance class, so I'm going to go start talking to insurance brokers. I'm going to go out there and start having these conversations, and then I'm going to do, I'm going to start setting this up in my own life, and then I'm going to tell people about it. I'm going to say, hey, this is what I'm doing. And then people are going to just come to me. I think that's such a cool way of doing an attraction style marketing, where instead of seeking them out, you're having them come to you because of the massive action that you're taking.
Well, yeah. I mean, especially, it's a whole different type of sale. So now you've got systems and stuff set up now, Nate. So obviously it's a little more than that, but you've got people that are coming to you. First time you're going to have a real conversation one-on-one with this guy, and he's ready to put up money. He's ready to buy his Epix combo.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
So let me ask a question. Are there?
I have those calls like a few times a week. It's a beautiful thing.
I know. I see the orders come through.
Yeah, I never talk to anyone until they're like already committed. 23 thing or not, it's 23 grand.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that is great. So tell me, is there a particular book that you would recommend for ICMs to read to get them either to elevate their belief or to help them to understand their principles or define their why? Is there a book you would recommend for ICMs?
I think so much of your mindset happens how you start your day. You win your morning, win the day, win your life. I'd say one of the most influential books was Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. About just starting with starting. I have my treadmill behind me. I have my vision board. I have, I am the prize kind of affirmations.
Wait. Show me your treadmill again. So while you're running on the treadmill, you're looking at your affirmation board. You're looking at your what you want.
I'm shouting out my affirmations. I'm looking at my vision. I'm running towards my goals.
I love that, Nate.
That is awesome. That is such a great representation of what you're doing,
It is.
Of working towards your goals, but then, getting a workout in. And
yeah, I totally get that. That is fantastic.
Great. Now
in February of 2020, I was so determined to beat Michael Huggins out to be the number one income earner, and I would repeat that every day. I said, it's not like, hey, I'm gonna try and beat Michael. I'm like, I am the number one income earner in Renatus. Like, that was one of my affirmations, right? And I was just like, I said it so many times that I believed it, and it didn't matter. We moved. We had just gone on this big trip to India. We had so many excuses, but I'm like, no, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna take the number one spot. And that's what helped me, right? Having those affirmations. And Hal Elrod in Miracle Morning helped me to learn how to really start the morning with power.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So do you find that every morning you take a minute and kind of reflect on what your day is going to be, kind of review the different appointments that you have or the calls or whatever, and then create like an accountability checklist for yourself? Is that something that you employ every day?
Absolutely, yes. So I take it even a further step. So I have a lot of goals. Like, I have goals for the quarter, I have goals for the month and for the week. So I kind of chunk it down. Then the goals for the week I look at, and then I make goals for the day. And I have an accountability partner. I'm not always perfect this, but when I am, it just supercharges me. So I have a partner named Carlos, and every day we're supposed to text our goals in the morning before 9, and then we say how many of the 3 things, or let's say 5 things that you wanted to accomplish did you accomplish. So I just give a number at the end of the day, like 5 out of 5, 4 out of 5. And sometimes just having that accountability makes me push to do those extra things. Like that podcast your wife was listening to, that was like, I almost didn't schedule that, but because it was on my list, I'm like, hey, I just need to schedule this out. Let's do it. And it was because I wanted to tell my partner that I had, my accountability partner, that I was 5 out of 5. I didn't want to tell him 4 out of 5. Right. So
nice.
I just did that. And So it just helps you to take that action, having that accountability, having the vision, the bigger vision, chunking it down, and then like, hey, what am I going to do today? Let's get this done, and let's account to someone else to make sure that it happens.
I love that. I feel like, man, you just gave like the roadmap, right? Create big goals, have a vision, break it down to year, month, week, quarter, whatever, and start to take realistic action every single day towards those goals, and then create an accountability partner where every single day you say, hey, here are my goals for the day, and then at the end of the day you follow up with, this is how many I accomplished, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever it is.
Yeah, I mean, and your mind's on it. I love that treadmill with the dream board there, and just, you're always looking towards your goals. You're always looking at how you can accomplish those things. It's almost like I think The Secret missed a lot of that, right? Like, but I think there's a lot of truth in what they had talked about. Basically, you're putting it out there, but you're doing the work. You got to do the work. You can't just put it out there. But you know what? There's really something to that, and it's fun to watch.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, I mean, it's, who knows what will happen, but like I even did it in my personal life with looking for a new wife. I had a list of like 25 things that I was looking for, and I would shout those out every day, just what I was looking for, and we'll see how it turns out. But I mean, I found somebody who might end up in that role. We'll see. It's too early, but I mean, she literally checked off every single one of those things that I shouted out every morning. So it's like
awesome.
It works in so many aspects of your life. Like it really happens. So you got to do it.
I love that.
Wow. That's awesome. I know that anytime that I look at myself in the mirror and I give myself those affirmations, I always feel better afterward. I always feel pumped up. I always feel more energized, I have more belief in myself and in what I'm trying to accomplish.
Absolutely.
I love that.
But it's I think it puts it into the subconscious in a way that there's doors or opportunities that you might not have otherwise taken, but
right.
I can't really explain or describe this, right? But
I got an example of it.
What?
You ready for my example?
What?
It's like when you buy a car and all of a sudden you start to see your car everywhere, right?
Yeah.
You start to see everyone else who's got that car.
Yep.
Where before you never saw them.
Yeah.
It wasn't because they're not there. It's just because
now your focus is different.
Exactly.
You're not looking for that car either. Your subconscious is, it's like it's on the mind somewhere in there, and then there it is, and there it is, and yep, totally. And that's a good way to put words to what I was trying to say, because I can't really quantify it. It's just there. It's cool. Anyways.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome that you can put that thought into your mind and then bury it so that it's no longer just a thought. It becomes your foundational principle for the day, right? Yep. And you start to say, well, I will accomplish this thing, like going to the gym. I will go to the gym every single day. And then it becomes such a belief that it's no longer something that you have to spend energy trying to decide whether or not you go to the gym. You just go.
Yeah. Yep.
It's you're programming yourself. It's almost like you're a human computer. You're programming it, and you got to tell the universe what you want, or you won't get it.
Huh.
Yeah.
Oh. That's cool.
I'm thinking right now. My gears are turning.
There's a thought that I had, and this is where it originally. I've got kind of two thoughts, if you will, that have come from this. But that subconscious thought pattern. I've seen a lot of people inside of the recovery world relapse on drugs or alcohol in that fashion, and they're sitting there going, "What happened? What just And when you go back and look at the days and weeks and months beforehand, you can see that subconscious thought pattern is starting to emerge, and then bam, all of a sudden this thing never happens, and then all of a sudden drugs found me, or I've heard that so many times. And so that's where this kind of thought process started for me. But now what I do is like the night before you go to bed, if you think, okay, this is how I'm going to wake up, this is how I'm going to start my day the next day, I notice that alarm goes off and I spring out of bed and I'm like ready to attack the day when I got things I want to accomplish and goals I want to obtain. But if I don't do that, the alarm clock can go off and you hit the snooze and you're just, you're not living with a purpose. It's not on the subconscious. It's just, it changes everything to put it out there, like you say, Nate. So yes. I love that.
I was just thinking that when I was young, I always heard that you have to identify your weaknesses and then you have to overcome those weaknesses. Mm-hmm. And as I got a little bit older, somebody moved me over to the StrengthsFinder series, if you've ever seen those. And so I read the book, and it talks about magnifying your strengths to then lift your weaknesses. So, high tide raises all ships kind of idea. Yeah. And so it's all about magnifying your strength. And it sounds like living your life intentionally is literally magnifying what you want to do, and then that will help to repel all of those time wasters, all of those things that'll creep into your life and just suck the life out of you.
Totally. Yep. You spring out of bed and you don't sit there on Facebook or something. You're doing this and you're doing, whatever it is you got to do. And I found that to be the case for me. So I like to put it out there.
Yeah.
I like that, a vision board as well. I don't have a treadmill with a vision board behind it. I'm gonna now.
So. Run to your goals, Matt. Run to them, bro.
I like it.
Yeah, I do too. I think that's way cool.
It is.
That's super cool. So what has been one of your favorite experiences or your growth opportunities in learning how to effectively market Renatus? Did you have like a pivotal moment where and maybe it was when you guys qualified for Costa Rica, but was there something else where you had that moment of just boom, I made it?
Oh man, I mean that was I alluded to it briefly, but February of 2020 and just pushing. I wanted that number one spot so badly, and just I think I had to sell like $220,000 worth of combos to be able to get there. And it was just like, it was so much unknown and so much uncertainty that I think just reaching that was like one of the highlights of my life. It was just really, really gratifying to make it, even though there was no crowds there. I mean, it was like in the beginning of the pandemic, but it was just such a thrill, and just so personally satisfying to see what I said on the treadmill come to pass,
See what I said on the treadmill. I like that. Should be the name of your book. See what I said on the treadmill.
I know, right?
But no, that's so cool, because I can just imagine the energy that you would feel, that excitement that you would feel, realizing that you had put into existence something that didn't exist a month before, where you were able to create that. There's a quote that I heard recently that said that everything that has been created was once a thought in someone's mind that they couldn't let go of.
Yeah, yep. I was just going to say thoughts are things. Like, thoughts are actual real things that have matter. I mean, it's when you have a thought, it's going through a circuitry in your brain and it's actual energy that travels somewhere. And so, it really kind of put it into perspective for me that thoughts are things. They're actual, like, real things, and that you should treat them as such. It's a thought that somebody couldn't let go of, and now we've got a car. We've got vehicles. We've got rocket ships to the moon. We've got
we've got Nate Lambert.
We've got Nate Lambert. That's right.
Yeah. That's funny, because never mind, I can't go there yet. I love this crowd, but I can't give away everything. We got to save a little something.
That's right.
But that's phenomenal, Nate. I so appreciate you, and I appreciate the example that you're setting. I love your energy. I love your positivity, and the way that you are accountably building your business. I love hearing how you're taking massive action, and you're being unafraid of the result. and then allowing people to see how that happens. I'm just going to take a wild stab here, but correct me if I'm wrong. Every single time you've taken massive action, it's turned out well, right?
Just about, yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it is.
that's so cool. Oh, man.
The goal for this year is 7 figures.
Yes.
7 figures. I'm on track, so I got to keep my eye on the prize and keep shouting that out every morning and make it happen.
I have faith in you.
All right. I gotta confess. After the last time you were on the podcast, every time I drive into work, I start saying, I am the prize in my car.
Do you?
I do.
Yes!
I totally do. And I started shouting it. I was like, I am the prize.
Oh, I love that.
So
I'm going to start doing it. I haven't been. So.
yeah. Oh man, it'll get you jacked up by the time you get to work. You'll
come
be
in
hopping.
pumped up.
Yeah. It's pretty fun. It's
I
pretty
love
fun.
that, dude.
All right. Well, Mr. Lambert, thank you so much for being with us. You are the Renatus top income earner, and I truly hope that you cross that 7-figure mark. You'll be the first ICM to do it in a single year, and I cannot wait to see what you can create, my friend.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Jay. Thanks, Matt. Always a pleasure.
Yeah,
Always.
you're a rock star.
Thanks,
All
man.
right. On behalf of myself and Mr. Matt Snyder, I want to give a shout out to Mr. Andrew James, who's been our producer for this show. As always, the reason why Renatus rocks is because of the people who are associated with it. Renatus rocks.